Hey everyone, Jen here, and today we are going to be making the brand new double hipster zipper bag, which is a crossbody like the original hipster. So I wanted to introduce you to this before we got into the stitching of it. So this bag comes in four sizes, just like the hipster. It is 6 by 10, 7 by 11, 8 by 12, 9 by 14 hoop size, depending on your hoop. It does come in the size 3 zipper variation and the size 5. It is a two hooping project. The shape is a little different. It also features the new pocket on the front here. So you have a small pocket here. Then you have the top zipper here. So two zippers, two hooping. So we did label this as a skillful embroiderer file, which is um, our highest level. And the reason why is because it is two hoopings, and you do have to kind of know how to use materials with your machine and what your machine's limitations are, meaning the batting, interfacing, stuff like that. Don't be afraid to try this bag, but just make sure you follow all the recommendations in the tutorial for steps and foot height and all that good stuff. I talk about it a couple times in the video using batting and interfacing and sizing and stuff like that. So we're going to split this into two videos. So the first one, which will start here in a moment, is going to be the front of the bag, which is the first hooping. And then the second video will be the back of the bag and full construction. And then we do have three videos on straps that were made for the hipster. Same straps. So I went ahead and added those videos to our playlist for this bag. So we did a webbing strap with rivets, and then the fabric strap. And then all of the hardware is linked in those videos, as well as the PDF tutorial. We talk about sizing of hardware and webbing and give direct links to what I purchased for that. You can also, if you need help with zipper sizing, that's linked in the listing, all that good stuff. So I hope you enjoy this bag, and I can't wait to see yours. Okay, so we went ahead and ran step one. So it's really hard to see no matter what thread I use, even black. So I went ahead and marked even, which is also hard to see, the outside lines for your zipper placement. Okay, so you're going to have the top, the zipper placement, and then the center line of your zipper. You're going to take your zipper and you're going to center it between those two lines. You can always look at the PDF for a close-up picture. You're going to go ahead and tape this into place and leave a little excess over here for both sides. Okay. The next step is going to tack your zipper into place. So I'm going to go ahead and run that, and I'll be back. Okay, so the zipper is tacked into place. You can leave the tape till you get to the sides, or you can remove it now. It's up to you. The next step is going to be cutting out the zipper. You technically could do this at the end, but then you would have some probably excess stabilizer showing. Plus, if you cut your zipper at the end, you would be very upset. So make sure you use not too sharp of scissors, and you're going to trim in between the zipper tack down lines. You don't want to cut the zipper tack down lines. Obviously, your zipper won't stay in place. So make sure you get right where you need to go. So here's the top tack down. Then you're going to go down the side, cut out the center, and on the other side. Okay, so that's what it looks like. That's the center line. So you cut out everything where the zipper will open. For the next step, we're going to do the top first. And since I'm on the back of the hoop, I'm going to attach my liner. So this is a flipper style. So it's a stitch and flip. So we're going to stitch our liner and our front into place, and then we're going to flip the fabrics up. to make the nice clean edge. So you want to take your liner and place it right side down. And this is the top. This is where the zipper tack down line is. You want your fabric over the tack down line. So I usually just line it up with the top of the zipper placement. That way you know it's in the correct spot. Tape it into place. And if you're going to mess up, it's always going to be on the liner. So make sure you tape this, not excessively, but tape it well. Okay, so now we're going to go to the front and we're going to attach the front fabric the same way. So you're going to take your fabric right side down again, and you're going to make sure the edge is over the zipper tack down line, which again, I use just the top of the zipper tape, and that's where I will line it up. Scoot it over a little. I have a little selvage on this side. Make sure that's not on the bag. And then you can hold this or tape it, whatever your preference is. I'm a holder, but people like to yell at me for that online. So the next step is going to run a tack down across the top here, and then we'll come back and we'll do the flip. Okay, so we have everything tacked into place. So we're going to go ahead and go to the back again. We're going to remove the tape. Save that to use again. We're going to go ahead and flip the fabric over and tape it up and out of the way. Again, this is where things can go sideways, so make sure you have this taped into place well. Okay, then go to the front side and we're going to do the same thing. However, if you're using batting, you're going to add it now. If you're not using batting, then, this doesn't matter. But if you're going to use batting, there are a couple, different types of batting, and you need to really pay attention to which one you choose. I am using an 80-20 blend. It is a heavier weight batting, but I am doing the 8x12 size, and my machine can handle it. My foot height can be adjusted. If yours cannot, or you're making the smaller bags, definitely you want to step down to a lighter weight batting, which Quilter's Dream makes select and request. They are about the same loft height. They're pretty thin. So if you're going to use interfacing and that combo in a smaller size, you should be totally fine. Again, machine dependent, and you know what your machine can handle and its capabilities. Okay. So you're going to take your batting and just place the clean edge right at the tack down line, and then fold your bag up. The next step is going to run a top stitch along the top and then finish the tack down all the way around the outside. So go ahead and secure that with tape or hold it however you prefer to do it, and run that step, and we'll be right back. Okay, so your top is all done. Now we're going to go to the bottom portion of the front where the pocket is. So we're going to follow the same steps. We're going to take our liner right side down, and we're going to line it up with that bottom placement line for your zipper. This is also the same construction, this stitch and flip. Okay, so if your liner placed, you're going to flip it over. And we're going to take our front, which I really want it to line up here. So I think I'm going to try, so I'm going to line those lines up here. And I'm going to fold it over, and that actually looks really good. Okay, so your excess wants to be up and away. Okay, the next step's going to tack these both into place. Okay, so our front is tacked into place with the zipper. So the next two steps are for the front and the liner. So we didn't have two steps to attach the top up here, and that's because most people are not going to put a design on the front. So I put the liner up at the same time as the front. For the bottom, this is where something could go decorative. So we do it in two steps. So the next step, you would put your batting. So leave the liner up and out of the way. You're going to place your batting and fold over your front, and then it's going to tack around the outside here. Then if you want to add a design, you will add it after that step. I don't know the number off the top of my head, but the PDF will tell you what step. So you're going to put that. Then once you're done with your design, you're going to flip your liner over and complete another tack down. So since I am not doing a design, I'm going to do both at the same time and skip that second tack down. So let's go ahead and flip to the back, and we're going to tape some extra tape here. Tape the liner into place. And then I'm going to go back to the front and butt that batting up to the place or the tack down line there. And then fold over my fabric and then go ahead and run the next step to tack it all into place. Okay, so I have the front and the liner tacked into place. Next is going to be the pocket. So you're going to flip it over. We're going to create a pocket. So you're going to have your pocket fabric, and it's going to create a rectangle around here. So you're going to put your pocket fabric covering the whole front piece. The next step's going to run that rectangle, and then you'll have a nice pocket right here, not the whole width of the bag. So you'll want to secure your pocket. You don't need like a ton of seam allowance. You just want to make sure you're well over your placement lines. You can trim it after. So go ahead and tape the pocket into place. Okay, so go ahead and put that back on the machine and run the next step. Okay, so the front is all together. Next, I want to make sure you open your zipper before we do the pocket. You also want to trim down anything along the sides here and go ahead and trim the zipper. I also trimmed the batting out a little bit from here because we're going to have another layer of batting on the sides. So next we're going to do the pocket. Okay, so our pocket is in place here. And you don't really need to trim this up. You can trim it later if you want. There's going to be no liner on the sides of your bag because this is all going to be enclosed on the interior of your bag. So you can even cut out this cutaway after we're all done. So I'm going to go back to the top here, and we're going to do each side, but I just wanted to show you. So there is the inside here, and this is all a nice pocket. Okay, so the next two things we're going to do is each side. So if you're looking at the hoop vertically, the bottom's going to be done first. So there's no liner. So you're going to take your fabric and you're going to place it right side down. And I just line it up with where I trimmed the other front. The next step is going to tack this into place, and then we'll do the fold over. Okay, so it is tacked into place here. The next step is going to be the completed tack down. So you're going to place your batting. You could even place it, I don't know. This is going to be definitely be personal preference. I'm going to place it typical the way I normally do. It's going to be a little thick, so just keep that in mind for machine purposes. So you're going to place your batting, again, no liner, and then it's going to top stitch along the top and then around the outside. Okay, so that is all nice. Looks great. So the next step is going to be the other side. So we're going to do the same steps. Going to place your fabric. It's directional. Obviously, pay attention to that. I'm going to go ahead and tack this into place, and then we'll run the batting step. Okay, so it's tacked into place. I'm going to place the batting. And we're going to do the fold over and run the last step. Okay, so the front of your bag first hooping is complete. Looks great. I am obsessed. I can't even tell you how much I love this. This is what the back is going to look like. I know I said you could trim this cutaway, but in thinking about that, if you do that, the front of your bag is going to have a different feel on the sides versus the front. So I recommend maybe just leaving it. I'm going to leave mine because I want it to feel consistent. across the whole front of the bag. And I don't think it really makes a difference. It's also going to help you keep this together. So I'll go ahead and leave that. So the next video is going to be the bag base construction and how we're going to attach this front to the bag. So go ahead and get your second hooping together, and we'll continue on with our bag making journey. Also, just quickly, there is a playlist with all of these videos and the videos on how to make straps for your bag. So we'll see you in the next video. Okay, something I forgot to mention before I signed off also, there is another step in the design and I completely forgot about it. But the last step actually runs a little mark at the top, and that's going to be your center line to use to line it up. I went ahead and marked it with my pen so I can see where it is, but be sure to run that step for center, and we'll see you in the next video.